I'd love Osimhen at Man United. I would obviously Gyökeres is my number one choice, but it does appear with the stories today that Arsenal are this close. And do you think Arsenal were doing the right thing here, Potsy, in terms of Berta led, in the sense of yes, Isak is the number one target, but instead of it sounds like what you're doing, instead of spending a summer, maybe getting Isak, leaving it until August, push him. Do you think the option of just going to get Gyökeres done, dusted, quick, get him off the market so nobody else can buy him is important?
I'll be honest, I'll be devastated if we don't get Gyökeres now. Devastated. Because we should get him. We should be the front runners for him. The only other team I believe that could be persuaded, or he could be persuaded, is Barcelona. If they're interested in replacing you, Lewandowski, I think Gyökeres could go there. Other than that, I think Arsenal are leading the race. I think he would choose Arsenal over Manchester United and Chelsea. And I'm not quite sure what Liverpool are up to. They're the only other club that I'd be fairly convinced that could actually get him off of us. But for me right now, Andrea Berta, he said he's his guy. We've moved and swayed away from Sesko. If you look now, Chelsea are linked with him. So for me, that's a really good sign. I think Andrea Berta appointment, let's be honest, I've got to be honest with you. I think it's a fantastic appointment. Now, I might eat humble pie. I might have egg thrown in my face to say that I think he's a good appointment. But I do believe that is the absolute perfect candidate for the numbers that we had on there. Because we had Dan Ashworth on the list and we had, Jason Ato was already part of it. And I was thinking, oh, my God, this is going to be a disaster. Berta's got a great history, great CV. So that's a really good appointment. Now it's time to deliver. Arteta's not going anywhere. No point in talking about his future. He's staying. So now it's on Andrea Berta to look at this summer and have a huge one. David Ornstein's reported in the last couple of days that we're going to have one. And I must be honest with you, I do feel like there's the serious potential for us to have a big summer. But I don't think we're going to be alone. I think there's going to be a lot of clubs that have a big summer. Manchester United, I think Newcastle, Manchester City. I think Liverpool will actually go and do some business. We've spoken about Chelsea. So I think it's going to be a big summer for a lot of clubs. So you're right, Tel. We've got to go and get Gyökeres now. I believe there's a release clause or at least a fee that's been agreed around about 65 million. That is an absolute steal for him. And there's also reports today that we're linked with Rodrigo, which is unbelievable. If we was to go and pull that off, oh my God. I don't know if that's true, but... Yeah,
I mean, the deal with Gyökeres is there's a 60 million pound is what the deal is going to cost. And he'll earn in excess of 200,000 a week. I mean, it's just, I know there's always a risk with a player that hasn't done it in the Premier League, but the man scored 92. I think he's got 92 GA over 2 seasons.
That's mad. That's mad.
I think players who put the ball in the back of the net like that, like pretty much put the ball in the back of the net wherever they go.
Let's be real. Gyökeres, Sesko, and Delap, right? We've just said Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea. The better option of those three is Gyökeres. I think all three of us can agree that, right? I don't know who's worse out of Delap or Sesko. Sesko looks to be doing it at a European level. Delap's doing it at club level. But when you look at it, what's happening, Gyökeres is levels ahead of those two, in my opinion. I'll be very disappointed if we ended up with one or the other, if it wasn't Gyökeres. So Gyökeres has to. And I know people say that he played at Coventry. That's a very competitive, hard, physical league. He's gone and backed the goals he scored in England up by getting 72 GA in 2 years. That is absolutely ridiculous. I know that he got an unbelievable amount of goals last season. This season, he's backed it up. So for me, it's all sorts, all round of 9. He's an all-round 9 terrier as well.
He's leading the golden boot, and he scored 38 goals. Now he doesn't get as many points because if you're in the Prem, I think if you're in the top 4 leagues, your goals essentially count for, you get 2 points per goal, where you only get 1.5 points per goal if you're in the sort of Portuguese leagues, Turkish leagues. I'm not too sure what you get in the French league. I'm just trying to look here and see. I think like the French league, top 5 leagues, you get 2 points, but he's still. So Mo Salah, for instance, is second. Mo Salah gets 2 points for every goal that he scored. Gyökeres is still ahead of him by a point. Wow. He scored 10 more goals than him. He's done it 2 years running. He's just been fantastic. And it's 60 million quid. It's a lot of money, but it's what you paid for Kai Havertz. And I think if Gyökeres comes in and flops, he still might score more goals than Kai Havertz for you. It's phenomenal business. It really is. And I saw something. I watched the game. I've been watching Sporting loads this season ever since we were linked to Ruben, and I watched their game. I watched their last 4 league games, and yeah, there's moments in the game. And this is the problem with modern day fans.
Still with a double, can't they, Terry?
They can do. I mean, the game against Benfica was amazing. Benfica were the better team, but they were at home. He helped score the first goal. There was some great hold-up play from him. There were times where he got the ball and he lost it too easily. But I think we live in a weird world now where people, if you want someone to be bad, and this has happened to Erling Haaland so much in the last few years, is that when people want to go in on him, you could put a compilation together of every bad touch and every time he's made the wrong decision or he's held the ball up and been tackled. But people act like that wasn't happening to R9. R9, if you went back and actually watched R9 again, most of the time when he touched the ball, he wasn't rolling a man, running in on goal and scoring. Otherwise, he would have scored 200 goals a season. Like most of the time, defenders win the ball back against you. Otherwise, goals would be higher scoring. We just live in this weird world. The criticism of Gyökeres I've seen is crazy. He's fast, powerful, good first touch, decent interplay for the elite level of the game. He has what Haaland's got as well, though. He can place a ball like he's blasted it. He can place it into the bottom corner, but it's like he's put his laces through it. And there's such quality to him as well. And yes, some people go, but he scores penalties. Yeah, penalties are part of football. Penalties are a part of football, and he's fantastic at them. It's an extra little, you get to a penalty shootout with players like him and Saka taking penalties. You've got a much better chance of going through. How much better is it that he might become your backup penalty taker over Odegaard, as an example? If you're, you know what I mean? Because he scores them. Yeah, and these are all the little things that I think Arsenal fans should be excited about when it comes to Gyökeres, especially the fact you've already gone and basically got Zubimendi over the line. It's a fantastic piece of business.
The thing is as well, yeah, Terry.
Sorry, go on.
When you're buying strikers, yeah, you want a proven track record of a player that scored goals. So you look at Gyökeres, right? His last 4 seasons, right? Coventry, 17 goals. This is just league. This is not all comps, by the way. This is only league. Coventry, 17 goals. Coventry, 21 goals. Sporting Lisbon, 29 goals. Sporting Lisbon, 38 goals. He's also got 15 goals in 26 matches for Sweden, right? This is a guy that has a track record of scoring goals, right? You compare that to Rasmus Højlund, yeah, who his track record before Manchester United in first team football was 0 goals, 6 goals, 3 goals, and 9 goals. Man United signed him, and what a surprise, the guy doesn't score goals. He's never scored goals in his career. He's never scored goals. And it was the same, by the way, when it comes to Gyökeres, with Erling Haaland. If you look at Erling Haaland's career, yeah, he scored goals at Dortmund. He scores goals for what's he from? Yeah. Norway. Salzburg. And he scored goals at Salzburg and Molde, yeah? He scored goals everywhere he's been. So when City signed him, the likely chances of him scoring goals were very high because he's done it everywhere he's been. Gyökeres has scored goals everywhere he's been. So he's probably going to come into Arsenal and score goals. Højlund didn't score goals anywhere he's ever been. Come to United, and he doesn't score goals now. So it's not a surprise. This is why, for me, I think this should be Arsenal's number 1 target. I think this should be Arsenal's number 1 target. I think he's ready to make that move. He's going to have the ego again because you need to have that as a striker in the Premier League when you try to win stuff. But this, for me, is a no-brainer. It's relatively cheap in this day and age. Now, this is a guy that scored over 40 goals, yeah, this season in all competitions, and is available for 60 million euros.
He has more GA this season than Erling Haaland had in his first campaign in England. Now, granted, Haaland's doing it at a higher level, but also, let's not pretend like that City team wasn't miles. I mean, that City team was so much better than everybody else in England that year as well. It's horses for courses. And when you look at a lot of the goals he scored, if you just study the goals, I hear a lot of bullshit. Oh, it's Portuguese football. The lines are high. There's so much room to play in. It's not like he scored all these goals where players are sitting, the teams are on the halfway line, like a Big Angie's team, and the ball's knocked over the top and they've been able to run in on goal. Loads of goals where the box has been crowded full of people. But Arsenal also do one thing you're not very good at is finishing off opportunities when you transition. It's not one of your great strengths. People like Gyökeres change that. They up you a level, and yeah, that'd be fantastic business. But there was that other story today you mentioned that I wanted to touch on today, that